Okay, welcome back, APCSA students. In this video, I just want to talk about checking equality of objects. With our primitives, we've been using this equal equal to check the value of the variable, if it's equal to that. In the last video, and I'll show you in a minute, we looked at objects that I could check if the pointer was equal to null by saying something like this. And so in the example I shared last time, I had the method break rock, and I passed each rock one at a time, and if the rock passed was null, I did one thing, and if the pointer to the rock was not null, then I did something else. So this is the correct way to ask if the pointer exists. Am I pointing to an object or not? That's what this is asking. Notice that null is not in quotes. It's not a string. It's a keyword. It's a reserved word. And this is how you check if R is pointing to a rock or not. So if R equal null, that means R is not pointing to a rock. Else is R is pointing to a rock. So this lets me know whether I'm pointing to a rock. Another thing we might want to ask, similar to the primitives, is the value of one object equal to the value of another object? In other words, the rock that X is pointing to, is that rock equal to the rock that Y is pointing to? Now, not all objects have some sort of equality. One could argue that two rocks aren't really equal, and maybe I wouldn't even want to know if two rocks were equal, right? For the sake of this, let's say that we decide, because we made up rock, here's our rock template here, we can say what we want. Let's say we decide that two rocks are equal if their weights are equal. I don't care what color they are, but maybe I want to, if you ever bought gravel for a driveway or for a job you're doing or a construction job, you know they come in sizes. And so arguably it might not be weight related, but let's say the bigger the weight, the bigger the rock. And so I want to group my rocks based on their weight. So I want to find out if rocks are equal to one another to start. Later we'll figure out how to find out if rocks are less than or greater than using weight. So for now, I want to know if two rocks are equal. So here we have X is null. We did that earlier. Y gets the default values. And so we saw that Y is nothing and 0. And Z is brown and 6. So to test if two things are equal, maybe if we made a white rock, but it was also 6.0, and then if we asked if these two are equal and said yes or not. Now if I put it as if Y equals Z, remember what that's asking is Y pointing to the same rock as Z? And they're not. They're each pointing to different rocks. What I want to know is if the weights of each are different. So equal is not going to do that for me. This is where we move to the dot equals. And we've seen this some with strings in your play agains. Some of you have used this because strings are objects. So this is how we compare the contents, or what Y and Z are pointing to. So I want to know if the contents of the rocks are equals. Now, the downside is, so if I say system.out.println, this would mean the rock Y, I'm going to say the rock Y, but you know I mean what Y is pointing to. The rock Y and Z have the same weight. That's what this would mean. Else, let's just copy that, right? Control C, Control V, do not have the same weight. okay? So we want to see if this, and I'm curious to see what it does so far. Oh, it actually compiles. What does it run? But it says they don't have the same weight. So look, this is Y, this is Z. They clearly have the same weight. So the problem is that we didn't write an equals method here. And so similar to the toString, we're using an equals method of our parent, and it doesn't check equality the way we want it to. It actually checks more like a simple equal. So in order to compare the weights, we have to write the equals method. So I'm in the rock class now because that's where my template is. So I'm back to non-static methods, and you can tell by the way I'm using it that equals returns a Boolean. You know its name is equals, and you know what you're going to have to pass it here is a rock. So now what I want to know, so when I call this, I have the rock Y and I have the rock Z. When I come into this equals method, I actually have access to Y and Z. I don't know Y and Z. You should be getting the hang of this now, because I could just as easily ask if X equals Z or if X equals Y. And so who I'm passing to you might be different. The point is, when you come in here, you have two rocks, the calling object and this one that got passed inside parentheses. So let me fix this back to my Y and Z. I'm comparing two rocks, and I want this to tell me if all rocks, those two rocks, any two rocks you get, are they equal? And so what you want to ask is if the weight, and it will take the weight of the calling object. I'm getting weight from up here. If the weight, and now we're into doubles, equal, it's always tricky with those doubles, so hopefully this will work, equals the other rocks dot weight, then we return true, else return false. Now the reason I can use equal here is because I'm now comparing the weights of the two rocks. And I can do that in this method because I'm in the method where the private variables are. I can access these private variables directly. I could also use getWeight, but I'm also using equal because the weights are doubles. So if I wanted to compare the colors, since colors are strings, I would use dot equals to compare colors. So you still have to be mindful here of what it is, what makes two things equal, and then whatever attributes you're checking, ask, are they primitive or reference type? Do I need to use equal or dot equals? So let's just see how this goes. Oh, Y and Z have the same weight. So now this is working. And if I change these weight to be a 5, I should now get that they're not the same weight. Do not have the same weight. So it looks like our dot equals method that we just wrote is working pretty well. I'm going to talk about this in another video. Depends on the order you watch it. This is sometimes used to keep track of the two objects. I'm going to put it here. So we like to see object dot and the thing, right? And you knew rock got past other. And so sometimes putting this keyword, this just refers to whatever the calling object is. So in this example, Y is this, and Z is other, right? So this is not required. but some students really like to do it. And it turns out all these places where I've been referring to these are the variables for this calling object. So I could have put this on all of these. There are times when I have to use it. None of these do I have to use it. We'll look at examples later where we have to use it. But some students really like saying this dot color, because then in here when they say y dot get weight, they know that y becomes this here in the get weight method. It's y dot weight is this dot weight. So it's up to you whether you use it or not. But especially for the equals, it can be helpful because you have two rocks you're dealing with. So there's this is the calling and the other. And remembering that I can just as easily flip-flop this to z and y. And now z is this and y is other. So remember those things get matched up, right? The calling object's going to go to this. Y is inside parentheses, so it's going to go inside parentheses and get this name temporarily. So if I run it now, it still says they're not equal, they don't have the same weight. It's just how they got passed to that equals method is different. And then I can go ahead and check and see that even if I do that, I am still getting the same weight. Okay, so play around with that a little bit. Keep checking for yourself. What am I dealing with? What variable do I have? What type is it? When I say, what is that thing? I want to know what type. And if it's a primitive, this will be okay. If it's an object, I'm going to mostly expect you to be using this unless you're checking if the pointer is null or you're checking the attribute of it. Okay, happy coding.